When most of your workforce is spread out in different shifts or in different studio locations, it can be difficult to maintain a strong company culture. Hi, BFS studio owners and managers. My name is Chris Beer, and today's lesson will give you ideas for fun, productive team building activities that will bring your team together. In other words, I'm talking about hosting team building events that don't suck. Let's set the stage for this lesson. You are the owner of a growing group of fitness studios that is steadily building its virtual offerings. You've just opened up your third location, and while it's taken a little bit of juggling, you finally feel set with the staff you've built. You have a rock star team of in-studio instructors, reliable front desk staff, and a few new instructors who film primarily from their home. And of course, the great technical folks who pull it all together. In the typical fitness studio, where classes are run throughout the day, often 7 days a week, it's rare to have opportunities for your studio's entire team to be gathered together in one space. Creating those relationships that kind of organically happen through moving through shared experiences. Go ahead and throw in the fact that some of your instructors and perhaps even sales staff or managers may be working remotely. And you can see how it's easy for team members to feel disconnected from their fellow staff members and maybe even from the studio. So of course, you know it's important to bring team building activities to your staff, but where do you begin? Well, you may begin your research where a lot of research begins. A simple Google search for team building exercises. Maybe your search even pulled up this iconic moment where Jimmy Fallon was a guest on Saved by the Bell. I don't know. But I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. In your Google search, you will probably come across the same ideas wherever you look. Things that are repeated over and over again. Boring. Some are too expensive and some look like a lot of work, which with the time, of course, that you don't have to give. And there are going to be a lot that just plain don't fit your studio's culture. The truth is, there is no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to how to improve teamwork within your fitness studio. Just like identifying your studio's unique values and culture, you're going to have to experiment with a few methods until you figure out what works. But you know what? Don't worry, this is not all on you. The biggest trend that we see when building team spirit is to offer camaraderie in low pressure, informal spaces. So let's take a look at a few examples of how this can be implemented in your studio. So start with a few foundational blocks that will make it easier for this to be a team effort, rather than just another thing that falls solely on your plate. It starts, of course, with hiring wisely and being aware of a fit for your culture. At the very core of things, when you hire wisely with your studio's unique values in mind, it helps you find people who will gel together. Keep in mind, this does not mean that you're hiring identical people, because that's no fun, but instead you're looking for team members who identify with and live your studio's core values and have that as a common bond. Another internal culture shift is to create what I call a culture crew. That is, appoint a task force of people who look for opportunities to get your staff engaged with each other and with the mission of the studio. I've listed a few examples for you on this slide for informal, easy ways to foster connection within your studio. Whether your staff sees each other on a daily basis or they're like ships passing in the night, give them opportunities to feel connected to the individuals on their team and the studio as a whole. When most of your workforce is spread out in different shifts or in different studio locations, it can be difficult to maintain a strong company culture. Collaboration, morale, and belonging can all take a hit when that happens. So you can get in front of this by fostering opportunities for your staff members to build connections to their peers and to the studios. When you're doing this, let your staff know why you're doing this, and then give them the opportunity to share their own ideas and get invested in how to strengthen your team community. In work and in life, human beings crave connection and crave meaningful work. Team building opportunities give them an opportunity to invest in both. So to recap, A shared experience brings people together, even if they're not physically in the same space. And when hiring for your team, look for individuals that share your core values. This will serve as a common ground for your team members. And lastly, with this and with everything, you cannot do this on your own. So enlist a few team members to help. Effective team building means more than engaging staff members, which is good for your studio's culture and boosting the bottom line. With a little creativity, you can plan team building events that match your studio's personality and are truly enjoyable for your staff members. Today's lesson covered team building activities that you can use in your studio to attract and retain talent. Going beyond compensation, your leadership styles, the way you interact with your staff, and the ways that you give your staff to interact with each other, these are the key elements that boost morale and stem staff attrition. Thanks so much for taking the time to work on your business today. I love talking about this stuff and would love to continue the conversation. Go ahead and follow me on LinkedIn or send me an email, and let's keep learning together.
Hey everybody, Jessica LaChance here. Do you want more business education for your fitness studio or wellness business? Subscribe to our YouTube channel or our email newsletters, and we'll see you here soon.